Good morning, everyone. I am going to tell you right now everything I had planned for the next couple of hours is going to change because I'm heading down. I'm going to take this down to an hour because I'm very nervous. There are some things going on here around me to the point where I've had to ask my partner, Andre Fernandez, to push that 49ers show that we had scheduled to do to tomorrow. Um, I will just say honestly, and y'all know me, I have been one to always be honest. There's some nosy people around here, and I am very nervous. I won't say anything too much more, but just know old Snowman's hanging in there. We're going to do our best to make y'all laugh. We're going to do our best to make you think, and I'm going to do my best to push all the way through everything that's going on here. Those of you that know the story offline, please keep it there until I say otherwise. All right, take a deep breath and let's go.
I can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Mister, will you please wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up?
Good morning! Snowman here to all you Brock Purdy and San Francisco 49er haters. Shut up! I gotta thank you, Shane.
I mean, whatever happened to the games where breaking 100 points was, I don't know, unusual?
There was one word to sum up the All-Star weekend.
Trays. Cause we take this job so serious.
Splash Brothers, yes. Ray Allen, replace him with Steve Kerr. Reggie Miller, yeah.
What in the all types of blue hell?
Oh, yeah! May have a lot of turbulence going on around me, but it ain't going to stop me, at least not for the next hour. Good morning! Welcome to the unfortunately abbreviated, Taco Tuesday edition of Snowman in the Morning. Glad to have y'all with us. Victor Locke riding shotgun from... Dagnabbit. From Chicago, Victor Locke riding shotgun as the war with machines continue. Victor, how are you?
I'm doing well. Once again, I'm back in the realm of the living, which I love being. And it's once again another day towards football season where I will once again have to go behind enemy lines against the war with the moronic republic.
I know I'm going to regret this, but why do you have to go behind enemy lines again?
Well, let's put it this way. For me, it's always behind enemy lines because, the vocal, idiotic majority of the moronic republic just encompasses all. So all of us who are rational thinkers are kind of always in the minority, and then we're always behind enemy lines.
For everything.
But I have seen some hope. There have been some individuals I've seen on YouTube that are actually putting out the good word, actually speaking rationally.
Good. I thank you personally for that laugh. Because because with everything that's going on around here, I needed it.
Understandable.
I needed it. I needed it bad. I'm rarely nervous. I am today, but I'm gonna do my best to get through it. Now, let's take care of some things.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell? See, Cole set this up and put all the buttons in place. Which means I can't find a doggone thing.
Right, I can't find them.
Which means I can't find them. Cole's our wonderful executive producer. Once again, folks, let me apologize for today being abbreviated. Tomorrow we'll be back in full stride. Everything will be back in place, and I will have gotten a full night's sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Now, with it being our look at the NFC West today, and Alison Moran will join us at the bottom of the hour to close up shop, there is one question I must ask, and I'll put it in this form. Why the hell isn't Roger Craig in the Hall of Fame already?
We had a big conversation about this last time.
And it ain't stopped either.
No, it hasn't.
Why? Listen.
I mean, the stats.
I've had so many people ask me who my favorite running backs are. Of course, I love Walter Payton. Of course, I love Barry Sanders. Of course, I love Thurman Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
But I always put Roger Craig on that list for one reason. He's the first running back in history. Marshall Faulk has duplicated, and now Christian McCaffrey is duplicated.
Mm-hmm.
1,000 season.
Yeah.
1,000 yards rushing, 1,000 yards receiving. Where is his gold jacket?
I mean, we talked about this. When it comes to, like, for me, running backs, it's always going to be Walter Payton, Barry Sanders, Emmitt Smith, and Roger Craig.
I forgot Emmitt Smith. Thank you for reminding me that. I'm foolish for forgetting damn it Smith, because I'm mad at Emmitt Smith because he kept breaking our hearts.
But
Emmitt Smith, wonderful. Okay, my top 5 running backs, and in no particular order: Walter Payton, Barry Sanders, Emmitt Smith, Thurman Thomas, Roger Craig.
Yeah.
Okay, I love you, Franco Harris. Okay, don't get it twisted. I love Franco Harris. I love Billy Sims, but damn it, where is Roger Craig's gold jacket?
Let's not forget Jim Brown.
No, let's not forget Jim Brown. Let's not forget the Syracuse man.
But the thing is, and we talked about this off camera, is that there is, in my opinion, there's been this big issue with allowing multiple media beat writers to be the voting majority.
Yeah. Kevin 3905, Nightfall Drop, and Raw Dogs all joining us here on this edition. And Kevin, there are 2 other running backs with 1,000 season. Marshall Faulk is one. The other is Christian McCaffrey.
Mm-hmm.
The other is Christian McCaffrey. And if y'all ain't careful, McCaffrey will be the only one to do it twice.
Yeah. Well, who's going to stop him? Right now, it's $1 million question. That man has had a renaissance, the likes of what we have never seen before.
And I'm praying that when week 1 gets here, he destroys Aaron Rodgers and the Jets.
Because
he destroys everybody. But this is about Roger Craig. This is the man who originated the 1,000 season. This is the man who originated the jackknife running back position.
Right.
This is about the man who came into the league as a fullback in 1983 when he was drafted by the 49ers. Thank you, Bill Walsh. He came into this league as a fullback.
Mm-hmm. But to me, the big problem is that, and let's not kid ourselves, a lot of these beat writers have biases. Whether it's they've been snubbed at a particular interview, or they just don't like the person. They're more of a homer for their particular team.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, there's no way I'm letting Roger Craig in.
Not like, well, Nightfall Drop said it best, because his achievements were overshadowed by Joe Cool and Jerry Rice and the West Coast offense, which took all the glory. And he's right.
Fair.
He's right. That's a very, that's a fact.
That's a fair argument.
Let's just be real. That's a fact.
My question is why would that overshadow it? It should be a part of it.
It absolutely should be a part of it. But and in your thinking and saying again, some of the beat writers just didn't like him, and yet they're holding one fumble, January 13th, 1991, against the Giants when the Niners were busy sealing the game. They're holding that fumble against him.
Name a running back that has not fumbled the football.
Let's see. Well, there's a no. He's dropped the ball here. Oh wait, he's dropped the ball too. Oh wait, there's no, Chubb's fumbled the ball too. Hey, wait, there's Kevin Mack when he was with no, he dropped the ball against the Jets. Oh, I got it. James Conner. No, he got pulverized by the 49ers and he fumbled the football. I can't find anybody.
No running back is perfect. Some are going to get tackled for a loss. Some are going to make a mistake. Some are going to fumble the football. That's just the way football goes.
Mm-hmm.
Every quarterback is going to throw an interception. Every receiver is going to drop a pass. Every running back is going to fumble the football. The only thing that your job entails is that you limit the amount of times that you do that. It is unacceptable for anyone to keep someone out of a high ranking award like that because one fumble.
I mean, it's ridiculous the way they keep holding Roger Craig out. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely, forgive the use of this word, Jody, asinine.
There needs to be a large ruckus as to why.
Oh,
Roger
I'm
Craig
raising.
has,
And
I mean, more people need to know about this.
Gotcha.
To make it an uproar.
There's a lot of us that need to raise a ruckus of why this man, number 33 out of Nebraska, Roger Craig, is not in the Hall of Fame.
I mean,
and if the 49ers were smart, they retire his number.
I mean, think of how many people rose a stink about Terrell Owens.
Why haven't they raised the same stink by Roger Craig?
Right. I mean, that needs to be something that's addressed.
Quick side note: I just got my first client to do a website for.
Nice. Nightfall makes a good point. Fumbles didn't stop Tiki Barber.
And thank you, Kevin, for saying 92 receptions in 85. Okay,
right.
1,000 yards rushing, 1,000 yards receiving came on 92 receptions. 92 receptions.
And Nightfall drop us a good one here. Fumbles didn't seem to stop Tiki Barber.
Nope. They didn't.
His first couple of years in the league, he almost played for the opposing team.
They didn't seem to stop Emmitt Smith.
No.
They didn't seem to stop Thurman Thomas. They didn't seem to stop Barry Sanders, and Barry Sanders did drop the ball.
Yeah.
Okay. Jim Brown did too. Every running back, Victor just said it, every running back that has played in the NFL, in particular in the Super Bowl area, has dropped the ball.
That's fumbled the football. It's what happens. Sometimes the handoff isn't right.
Mm-hmm.
It's raining. Sometimes when the ball is wet, it's going to
things happen.
The Peanut Tillman punch.
I hate you, Peanut Tillman, but I love you at the same time.
Peanut Tillman punch. Most people couldn't even hold to the football.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what happens. Some defensive players learn how to pop the ball loose.
Exactly. Or they plain strip it.
Right.
Lawrence Taylor.
All
right. Mike Singletary. Brian Urlacher.
Brian Urlacher.
Ray Bleeping Lewis.
Lance Briggs.
Ray Bleeping Lewis.
Lance
Briggs. Reggie White.
It's something that happens. It's a part of the game.
It is.
Does he have Super Bowl rings? Yes, he does. You already said 1,000 season. Those things alone should be like, yeah, he needs to be in there. Especially if you put Joe Montana, Jerry Rice there. Roger Craig needs to be in there as well.
He has 3 rings. Who's singing?
My phone. It is unfair.
It is unfair
to say that Joe Montana, he did enough to go into the Hall of Fame. Jerry Rice, he did enough. Roger Craig, I don't know about that one.
You know, another fellow who deserves a gold jacket
Mm-hmm.
or will never get one.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody who knows 1980s football should remember this name. John Taylor.
John Taylor, JT.
John Taylor. Where's his gold jacket?
Good question.
Where's Roger Craig and John Taylor's gold jacket? Where's Tom Rathman's gold jacket? This next one's for you. Where is Daryl Moose Johnston's gold jacket?
I wish I knew.
Where's Daryl Johnson's gold jacket? Where's the gold jacket for the great fullbacks of the 80s? Matt Suey, Tom Rathman, Daryl Johnston. Huh? What the hell is that?
Let's be frank. Most people have forgotten or decided not to care about the fullback position.
Well, I do. I played the position.
I do too.
I've played the position.
I love the fullback position. I'm just saying that the majority of today's football fan, let's say today's football fan, they're looking at only 3 positions: wide receiver, quarterback, and running back. That's it. And really, it's down to just receiver and quarterback. They're not even looking at the running back that much anymore.
They're not even looking at the running back position. They're not even trying to look at the run. They don't hand out gold jackets for supporting cast. Well, they should. Kevin, you and I can talk 49ers all day. Nightfall drop. Hell, Victor also, because Victor's watched 80s football. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Though he's a football baby of the 90s with the 90s Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
We can talk football all day. Old school, true smash mouth, in your face and down your throat football all day. And every player that I have mentioned, fullback, running back, deserves a gold jacket. And it starts with Roger Craig.
I agree. I wholeheartedly agree.
Yeah, Jimmy Johnson destroyed the halfback position with his back by committee philosophy. Yeah, true, until he found Emmitt Smith and Daryl Johnston. He had to find those two. Or those two had to find him.
Yeah. Sometimes it's a matter of just finding the right pieces to fit around the puzzle.
Exactly.
MJ.
It is.
I mean, look at MJ. MJ was a complete player. We all know that. Became his raw airness. But to become a champion, there were more pieces than just the cornerstone. You needed other pieces to come around. Horace Grant, Scottie Pippen, John Paxson, Bill Cartwright, B.J. Armstrong, Stacey King, Will Perdue, Dennis Rodman, Tony Kukoc, Steve Kerr, Ron Harper, John Spider Sally. If you really want to get technical.
James Buddha Edwards, who spent some time as a Laker, to my surprise, 1992-93, after his years with first the Suns and then the Detroit Pistons. There's another great fullback, William Floyd.
William Floyd, yes.
William Floyd.
It just seems that there's been a large like ignoring of the running backs and fullbacks, especially of yesteryear, but even now. And right now, the guy who's bringing it back is CMC.
And y'all know I love Roger Craig. I mean, if I advocate for anybody that deserves their gold jacket in the Hall of Fame because of the impact they've had on one team, hello,
it's
Roger Craig. Matter of fact, where's this clip? Y'all want to know? I will show you if I have it, and I'm praying to God I do.
You should. You used it like a couple weeks ago.
I should have it. Where are you at? There it is. I do have it. Y'all want to take a look.
And it gives those guys a little extra weight. Roger Craig still on his feet, still running. What a run by Roger Craig. You'll never see a better one than that.
And what's terrifying about that is that he should have been stopped well before that.
He should have been stopped 3 times.
And he ran through defenders.
He ran through everyone.
That's terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
That's absolutely terrifying. If you're a defender, you see half of your guys just get knocked over. You're like, I'm not going after him. I'm not staying in his way. I will roll out the red carpet for him. He could dance into the end zone for all I care. I am not taking that hit. And there were some guys who you just didn't want to get hit by them because they ran so hard.
Mm-hmm.
Emmitt Smith was one. Barry Sanders was the beast of that. There were guys who literally leapt out of the way for Barry Sanders.
Tony Casillas, anyone?
I agree. It makes you wonder, what writer did Roger make mad?
I don't think he made anybody. I don't think he made any. How can you make anybody? How can Roger Craig make anyone mad with that 2-foot smile he has? Huh?
Well, like I said,
It makes you wonder what. And Nightfall, you just said it. It makes you wonder what writer Roger Craig pissed off, because during that time, the writers determined who got in and who didn't. Victor, you said this earlier.
And I don't think it's that much different now.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, it could be a bias. I mean,
I think it is.
What if I'm gonna throw my own team on the bus? What if one of the writers is a Cowboys fan and didn't like Roger Craig?
Then I will hit you.
Me, I want him to be in.
I'll hit you in the throat and kick you in the leg. No, I won't. No, I won't. I won't do that. For anybody who knows Victor and me, know we joke like that all the time.
No, absolutely.
Okay, listen. Let me show you again if there's any play that is Hall of Fame worthy. It's this one.
And it gives those guys a little extra weight. Roger Craig still
right there at the 30, he should have been down. At the 20, he should have been down.
You'll never see a better one than that. From 46 yards. That's going to be a lot of highlights for a long time. What an effort by Roger Craig.
John Robinson was just saying yesterday he thinks right now Roger Craig is the best running back in the league. I can see why. You know, he has that.
Take a look at this in slow motion.
Knees high and keeping the shoulders low, and he makes every team
goes
look
right
like
through the hole.
Watch,
right here, he should have been down because he ran straight into him. Got stopped there. Bam! Bull rushed him. He should have been down there.
Going high and keeping going.
Still moving.
The shoulder can get low to take on a tackler. I tell you, that is an amazing ability that this guy has.
And
that, ladies and gentlemen, is a Hall of Famer.
I'm loving Nightfall's comments, man. And Skip Bayless showed his bias. We're on the East Coast, and the Niners ran off the field most of the time. Also, he said for that jihad against Terrell Owens, which I absolutely
jihad now against Roger Craig.
I absolutely lambasted Skip Bayless for that. I absolutely shredded.
I roasted the daylights out of Skip Bayless for that. You know what? Terrell Owens to me is a fantastic player. Okay.
Yes.
There are sometimes he royally pissed me off. Let's not get it twisted. But Terrell Owens is a fantastic individual and a fantastic football player, and absolutely deserves his gold jacket.
I'll give you the play, and I know it's a controversial one, but it's the play that made me really like Terrell Owens. The Sharpie. The Sharpie moment.
Seattle, 2001. Yep.
Seattle. And why? Because everyone got up in there, got their panties in the bunch because, you shouldn't do this taunting enemy team. I'm like, did you see Seattle's tackling that game?
Piss poor. Thank you, Dad. Piss poor.
my favorite receiver, Michael Irvin, said, if you don't want that to happen, guess what you do? You don't let them score.
You don't let them score. Yep.
Don't let them score. That tackling was so doggone poor.
Say it right. It was piss poor.
Yes, it was piss poor. Couldn't drop a rain in a bucket. And yet, Terrell made it look easy and said, hey, you know what? One of my business partners there, let me go ahead and autograph football and give it to him.
Mm-hmm.
Now, of course,
listen, there were times Terrell Owens was a clown and I didn't appreciate it at first. I do now.
Well, let's
He was
also.
a nut.
He also did
But he
kind of
played-
bring in the renaissance of
but
people
he-
using outside, props. Joe Horn
Mhm.
and the cell phone.
Yeah, Joe Horn. Yeah.
There was a
Yeah.
lot of people who were like, "Oh,"
And then there's some guy named George Kittle.
George Animal Kittle.
Then you hated him when he played it. You're right, but you know what? I can't. Terrell Owens is Terrell Owens, okay? And Roger Craig is Roger Craig, okay? Tell me why in the hell he does not have a gold jacket. We got plenty of reasons. Make your comments down below. He should have his gold jacket. He should have gotten it when he retired. And there's a conspiracy against Roger Craig and John Taylor and Tom Rathman and who else did I say? Daryl Johnston, William Floyd, and many others.
And think about this. Another one that made me laugh that Terrell happened when Terrell Owens, I think he was with Philly, scores a touchdown, so I had to stand in the middle of the Dallas Star and got clobbered for it. Oh, he was with Frisco. He was with Frisco. Okay.
That was 2000. That was against Dallas, in Dallas. And Emmitt Smith pummeled his ass the second time.
He got clobbered.
And
I understood. You don't stand in the middle of that star.
Terrell deserved it the second time when Emmitt Smith clobbered him.
Mm-hmm.
But the referees knew what was going on. They didn't hand out any penalties. They didn't suspend anybody. They were like, hey, they're defending their turf.
Right. But
in a game that Frisco won.
But what was wonderful is that when he did play with Dallas and he did score a touchdown, he stood in the star again and got standing out.
And paid respect to it.
Right.
And paid absolute respect to it. Brent Jones, underrated tight end.
Mm-hmm.
John Frank, another underrated tight end. Emory Desmond Clark, Emory Moorhead. Right? How about those guys? How about Mark Bavaro?
Another.
I hate you, Mark Bavaro, but I love you at the same time. Mark Bavaro was the man to me at tight end.
That's another position that has been kind of gone by the wayside. It's a tight end.
There's a tight end. Tight ends and fullbacks.
Greg Olson.
Right?
Greg Olson?
Mm-hmm. See, the thing that saved Greg Olson's career was getting out of Chicago.
Yeah. Well, once they decided to kind of do away with Desmond Clark, I figured that that Greg wasn't too far behind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and at the same time, you had Jay Cutler thrown to him.
I mean, Jeremy Shockey.
3rd round pick out of Miami.
He was beast of a tight end.
He was a backup tight end.
Mm-hmm.
I hated Mark Bavaro too, but damn, he was so good. I loved Bavaro. Bavaro was like, how did Al Michaels describe him? Bavaro was like Sylvester Stallone.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't care.
No.
He didn't care if he had Ronnie Lott on him. He didn't care who else. If he had Carlton Williamson on him on a Monday night game, he carried their asses.
Yes, he did.
And I love it. I played the fullback, tight end. I played the fullback position. I played the tight end position. I played the offensive line position. I'll leave it there. We gotta take a few minutes.
All right, let's go ahead and wrap it up. That was Snowman's take. What is yours?
Coming up on this abbreviated edition of Snowman in the Morning, the Token Female is next. And Lord knows we're going to talk WNBA because it's back. And Caitlin Clark has a message. And so do I. That's next.
Whether it's news, the largest egg producer finds bird flu in chickens at a Texas plant, weather, devastating tornadoes rip through the heart of the United States, inspiration, a breast cancer survivor completed the journey of chemotherapy, and now begins a future one of matrimony or sports. Michael Jordan is shown on a photo with Diddy. LeBron James has a video extolling the virtues of a Diddy party. This has been yet another beating a dead horse presentation. We got you covered. BS3 Network, in association with Comey Media Incorporated, proudly present The Morning Shift with Cole Johnson. Live every weekday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central.
to do a TED Talk, but I don't have anything to talk about yet. I'm getting there.
Life is for the living. We're not here that long.
You can learn anything you want to learn without any money spent.
What do I really enjoy? What do I really want out of life?
I am your host, WIZE.
Are you in a life holding pattern? Well, this is for you. Welcome to the Stuck in My Mind podcast. Live every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday at 4 p.m. Central.
Hey everybody, Snowman here. Looking for the best way to experience live events? Well, SeatGeek has you covered. With just a few taps on your phone, you can find the best seats for concerts, sports, theater, and more. Don't miss out on unforgettable moments. Download the SeatGeek app today and get ready for an experience like no other. Each ticket is vetted for authenticity and ranked on a 1 to 10 scale. And right now, if you sign up and use the code Snowman, you will get $20 off of your first purchase. That's only through the power of SeatGeek, where fans can fan.
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
Welcome back. This portion presented by Invader Coffee, fuel for the fearless. Thank you all for being patient with me. There's some things going on here in the area that's causing a lot of turbulence. That's why I got to make this an express episode and move a lot of things around. But thank you all for being patient with me. And I promise you on tomorrow, that 49ers show will be live at 1 p.m. Just had to move it from today with all things that are going on here. Speaking of take two. Thank I swear people know me. Speaking of things going on, this is going on. Here's Allie. Back for another Tuesday edition of the Token Female. Good morning, my dear. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing okay. Fighting the allergies today, though.
Oh,
so
no.
I'm going.
The magical winds of the Windy City has brought us Allie.
Yes, and the magical winds have brought us Allie G's as well.
Yes. Yes.
What can we do? Who is disembodied voice today? Who's disembodied voice?
That's Victor.
Victor, how you doing, baby?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing okay. I will survive. I think it just makes my voice huskier than it usually is. So
it happens. It happens.
I lived in Chicago most of my life.
Yes, you
and
have.
and I dreaded the month of August. Because the top part of August, it is broiling hot, and we're getting into the bottom part of August, and you know the rest of the story.
Yep.
The temperature decides to drop like a rock, which messes the body up, especially when high school football kicks off at the end of August in Chicago, and I get my first set of games. I wonder why I'm going through more tea and vitamin C and orange juice and fluids than usual, because the allergy decides to kick me in the rear end. That's why.
That's right. That's right. And think of it, these poor little, 17-year-olds, 16-year-olds are playing in 97-degree weather. And it's, I can't even. My mother told the parochial schools we went to as a kid not to play my brother. Isn't that crazy? Pee-wee football.
That's amazing.
Yeah, you know what? In my years of doing high school football in Chicago, my favorite game was September of 2002, and it was at St. Rita. And there were two ranked teams, both in the Catholic League, St. Rita and Brother Rice, and it was at St. Rita. At the time, St. Rita had a grass field, natural grass field.
Mm-hmm.
And when I got to the stadium, it was nice and sunny. I had class that day. I had my equipment. I was ready to go. Then the clouds started rolling over the stadium, and I'm going, why am I in trouble? I get to the stadium. The press box, which was as puny as ever, was full to the brim, and I was shoved up on the roof. Then the rains came.
Right on your head.
Right on. I got soaked to the bone. A gust of wind at 20 miles an hour took my umbrella up 79th Street.
Oops.
Never to be recovered again.
Never be seen again.
Never to be seen again.
Damn.
50-yard line was a mud pit and a mosh pit at the same time.
Yep.
I knew they spent time decorating the field because I watched them early in the week. Didn't rain any part of that week. Then Friday came along and that took care of that. And the craziest part about that game, it went 6 overtimes.
6.
I didn't sit down for 3.5 hours. 4 hours. I finally climbed down off the roof, put my coat on. Some of the parents heard me saying, "You did a great broadcast. Thank you. I'm soaked. I want to go home." By the time I got home and rode through that tailgate party, that post-game party, there were 4 beers in my pockets.
Somebody's watching out for you.
Yep.
The Catholic Leaguers know. Listen, the Catholic Leaguers know how to celebrate. And I covered the CCL for 12 years.
Yeah, I love that. I wish Marist had thought of that when I got caught in a thunderstorm covering their soccer games. It was Marist. No, the good girls of Marist. Not in a Diet Coke for me.
You needed to be around Marist when I was there, especially after the Marist miracles. With Gene Nolan and the bunch, which for some crazy reason got me on the map, and I didn't have a voice after those 2 games in the playoffs in 2012.
Yep.
Speaking of playoffs, the WNBA is back. Records are being broken. Thank you, Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, for that matter. And something we all said at the top of the year just may come to fruition. The Indiana Fever and the Chicago Sky just may be heading for a playoff clash. These two, especially now with Caitlin Clark having her legs under her, same with Angel Reese, these 2 teams mean business.
We've been saying that. We've been saying in college. Ever since college, we've been saying that.
Yeah, and they will. Right now, they're at the 7 and 8 positions. The Indiana Fever at 13 and 15, getting close to that 500 record, which really puts them in a solid position. They are at number 7 right now on the playoff list, and the Chicago Sky is hanging on by a thread to the 8th position, the 8th and last position on the playoff list. The only team that has actually clinched a playoff spot this time around is the New York Liberty at 23 and 4. They are best record in the WNBA. No one will deny them. However, back to your point, Brian, I have greater hopes and higher expectations for the Indiana Fever, unfortunately, than I do for the Chicago Sky this year. Because, okay, first of all, you can't get 232 assists on the season. I mean, that is a record-breaking number by Caitlin Clark this year. Did somebody burp? It's
no. I said
hard. It's like okay. This was a record set back in 1998 by Tisha Panachero. She only had 224 on a I think it was a 30-game season at that point, something like that. The year after the WNBA was founded, 224 the full season. Now Caitlin Clark has 232 assists with more than a month left in the season. Think about it. This is amazing. Okay. Also, Caitlin Clark averaging 23.7 points on 47% shooting from the field, 11.7 assists, and has scored at least 20 points in 5 of the last 6 games. Okay, this is a woman who is entrenching herself in the WNBA. She is going to carry that team to the playoffs. She could move up a couple notches depending on what's going to happen over the next month. I can't imagine that they are not going to have a higher position than 7th. I'm gonna say this now. They're gonna be at number 5 in 2 weeks.
Yep.
I'm thinking.
And now with we'll say it again, with Indiana getting their legs under them after the month-long break, having some time together, and Caitlin Clark putting time in the weight room, her court vision has gotten better. Some of the beautiful assists that she had this past weekend, and now the shooting percentage is starting to climb up there. They're shooting about 41% from the field as a team, and now
47%.
Yep,
47.
As a team.
A rising tide lifts all boats.
Yep.
Remember that. Yeah, just like Michael Jordan with the Chicago Bulls. This is if you look at it's almost a mirror image, and
it kind of is.
It's so there. Now I've got to say I love my Chicago Sky. I have loved my Chicago Sky for all the years of its existence. Yeah, and without Angel Reese, they would be so much worse.
Hey, look, I am not one to argue. Allie and I have seen the best and the worst of the Sky since its inception. Allie and I covered the team together, brother and sister, covered the team together the first year they went to the WNBA Finals, which was 2014.
Right.
And that was a scramble drill in and of itself when they had to change arenas due to a scheduling conflict at the Rosemont Horizon, so they had to play it at UIC Pavilion. We've seen the best and the worst. If St. Louis was not a part of this team, they would be languishing. I mean this, languishing in last place.
Yes, and it would the thing that you have to remember is that they no longer have their chief scorer Marina Mabry because she's with the Connecticut Sun now. All the Chicago Sky, it just appears, only wanted that trade for the picks. The picks for next season. They didn't really care. That told me they didn't really buy into this season. They wanted a season of a, they just wanted to coast along. If they made the playoffs, great. If they didn't want to make the playoffs, great. It's all that, let's build the team through picks. Let's build the team through trading, but at the same time, you've got to put something out on the court that's worth the ticket price. They are doing that. I was sick on Sunday with the 68-86 loss to Phoenix. And that said, Angel Reese has had a career game and 20 points. And you know,
19 rebounds.
and another double. It was ridiculous. She's putting everything out there, everything. And it's almost a travesty that the team around her cannot build upon her vigor, her enthusiasm. Maybe Kennedy Carter, who had missed the game on Friday night here, was. I wonder that there were some lingering issues with her illness that caused her to be.
I'm wondering that also with Kennedy Carter. And they need Kennedy Carter bad, especially now with Mason on. And I want to bring back something that you said, which hits home for me. They don't want to build on this team this year. And I think the upper management purposely is not realizing, hey, we're in a playoff spot. We can nab one of the first 5 seeds. Because if you're at 6, 7, and 8, it's going to be a dogfight getting out of that because you're on the road for most of the time. 1 through 5, you can sneak in a first round win. It just depends on your opponent and depends on where you play. Now, with Mabry being a part of the Connecticut Sun, they bolster their lineup. They get stronger, and the Chicago Sky are getting weaker at the exact position that they need, which Mabry filled, which was say it with me, folks, a shooting guard.
Yeah. Now, who are they going to rely on? Are they going to get it? It used to be give it to Jordan. Now give it to Angel Reese. Okay, I can see a team that gets the Barbie and Ken show. The Shy Barbie, Angel Reese, for the uninformed. Angel Reese and Kennedy Carter are a great shooting combination. They do well, but it's I have to question the management here. I have to question Michael Alter. I have to question, Spoon. Unfortunately doesn't have that kind of clout where she's also the general manager, that in somebody else's hands. That's the first time that's been the case. James Wade had total control over the product because he was also the general manager
3 years ago.
Yes.
Which got them a championship.
Yeah. Now, it doesn't matter if who's got the control, as long as they're on the same page and want the same things.
Right.
But what they're doing right now is they are putting Coach Spoon in an incredibly tentative and sad position. And all she can say week after week, every press conference, is they're showing the signs of improvement that we want them to. That's it. Play 40 minutes of basketball. Get it done. Okay. Yep. All of the teams can play 40 minutes of basketball. They have to. But in order to play it well, you've got to have that shooting guard, as you were saying. You've got to. And there's just not enough there. Mariah Jefferson brings nothing to the team. Nothing. I'm sorry to say that. I love you, Mariah, but
but let's be real. There is no spark whatsoever with Jefferson being there. None. No. There is just no lift. There's just no lift to this offense. You can make trades and moves no matter which team you follow or which league, and a team can become either instant offense or instant defense. This trade they made sending Mabry packing, nothing. I'm seeing nothing.
No. It's just like any of the bad Cubs trades the Cubs used to make. You know, Lou Brock, Lou Brock. I just,
it's bad. Lou Brock got his 3,000th hit against the Cubs in 1979. Okay, that's bad.
I give you a worse one. Milton Bradley. The Milton Bradley.
Oh Lord!
I'll give you that. I will give you that.
See, Lou Brock gets even after being traded from the Cubs by getting his 3,000th hit against the Cubs. Like I said, in 1979, we've seen. All of us, as journalists and as fans, have seen rotten trades.
Yeah.
Rotten.
Okay, this one ranks right up there.
Yep.
Trading Marina Mabry. This is ridiculous, and the Sky should know better. Shame, shame, shame on the Sky
Yeah,
for what they just did. I say there's still time. Trade deadline isn't until August 31st. Make a decision. They got
time. They know what they need. There's another thing that they need. Depth.
Yes.
Look at the top four. Look at the top four, top five teams. And Indiana's waiting in the wings to make a move. They're doing the smart thing. They're keeping silent. But I detect a move from them to bolster their lineup and have them leapfrog into one of the top four seeds. Because remember, now they've beaten Phoenix twice in a month.
Yeah.
Once in Arizona before the break, and now once after the break. They do own a victory over the New York Liberty.
Yeah, and by all means, they're like we said, the star was rising before, it'll rise again, and like I said, fifth, they're gonna notch up those fifth position in the playoffs. They're going to clinch in another month, say, and the Indiana Fever will be on the rise.
Yep.
There's just no way that they're not going to make a big run.
They may. I don't want to put this. Yeah, I do. I want to put. I'll put this out there. There may be a chance for them, given the fact that they're going to have a lot of rest in between their upcoming games because they have a week off. They played Sunday. They don't play again until Saturday. There's a chance they just may run the table.
Yeah,
they're getting stronger as the season goes on.
Yep. So we'll see. Well, the Sky's got another game Friday, August 23rd, the day after my birthday. So
happy birthday.
Yep. Thank you very much. Thank you. We won't talk about my age, but a celebration.
I want to get hurt. We're gonna keep it quiet.
Yep. Thank you so much. Yeah, honey.
Allie, you see this?
Yeah.
Okay. I have fun with my age. Okay. My kids tease me. My kids tease me.
They call you an old man? Do they call you an old man? Yep.
My son, my daughters, and hey, old man, hey. And we're all just laughing out loud. I love them dearly. My wife teases me about my age, and we're the same age.
Yeah.
Jody and I are the same age, and yet I'll be in the kitchen cooking something, and she'll walk by and she'll go, "Hey, old man," and I'm just leaning over the sink laughing. Okay. But after kicking cancer in the ass, I'm glad to be getting old. Okay.
Exactly. Actually, Lev tells me all the time, imagine what would happen if you weren't older. Imagine what would happen then. Who would I have? I said, you're right, baby. You're right. You're right. So I do embrace longevity. I do embrace longevity with joy.
Yes.
My mother is 97. She embraces her longevity with joy. By the way, I was a very late baby. I just wanted to mention that. My mother was a career woman, didn't have me until a late age. So it was 97 years old she is now, and still going real strong. And
Good.
I'm very proud of her. She is proud of me for doing this. So I thanked her every year. I thank her for the 20 minutes of labor she went through with me, and it was great. But let's get back to sports, shall we?
Let's get back to this. A soccer legend gets her due. Brianna Scurry into the U.S. Soccer Hall of Fame. Well deserved.
And believe it or not, she is making history as the first Black female player and goalkeeper to be elected to the United States Soccer Federation National Hall of Fame.
Wonderful. I love it.
And comes way late as far as I'm concerned. But but I'm glad it's happening. Who can forget 1999, that save in the World Cup? Sending it to the PKs, and that's where it all started for U.S. soccer in the United States. Some people would say it was Brandy Chastain's pulling her shirt off, but
if it was not for Brianna Scurry making that save and sending it to penalty kicks, that's a story that wouldn't have been told. In the Rose Bowl in Pasadena, California. So you're outside Los Angeles. There's your Hollywood ending right there. And Brianna Scurry makes the save that basically rescues the U.S. team, because that was a dogfight.
It was
a dogfight.
It absolutely was. It was unbelievable. And what's more, she was in 3 World Cups. She earned 3 World Cups, 2 Olympic gold medals, and now she's an advocate for concussion awareness, taking as many headers as she did, taking, leaping, diving. There are more injuries through soccer than in almost any other sport except for football. American football I'm talking about. But when you have to realize what that does to the inside of your head. And so Brianna Scurry, kudos for all that she has done for the game. And I actually had the honor of meeting her back in 2009 at the 10th anniversary of the Women's World Cup. That was the first season of Chicago Red Stars soccer. Lovely woman, did everything she could for the sport, posed with all of the little girls who were out there that day, all of the soccer teams in the area, which she helped influence, who were in the audience that day. It was a little rainy, as I'm recalling, and she has influenced a generation of soccer players. I can't believe that 2009 was 15 years ago.
Right.
Look at all that soccer has accomplished since then. The league stable. You've got a ton of new role models as a result of that. She was one who could influence somebody like a Mallory Swanson or the Alessa Nair, who came up and has been so amazing for the women's soccer team just recently in the Olympics. And, none of that would have happened without Brianna Scurry.
True. None of that.
So,
Speaking of soccer, the Chicago Red Stars and Riot Fest strike a deal for SeatGeek Stadium on September 21st, which is a Saturday. I might be up there on that Saturday doing the Chicago Football Classic at Soldier Field, so may have to pop by for a visit.
Absolutely, there's going to be a riot in town, baby. It's a now to go back and recap what happened there. SeatGeek Stadium was supposed to be the site of Riot Fest, and because Douglas Park didn't really want to host all the crazy kids who came to Riot Fest every year at Douglas Park. Well, I think it was it was September 21st versus the San Diego Wave. The Red Stars had that spot at SeatGeek Stadium, and that kicked them out of their own stadium in Bridgeview. So, yes, and so rightly so, the management of the Chicago's Red Stars filed a complaint and ultimately the Riot Fest organizers agreed to partner instead with the Red Stars. And so now what they're doing is they are going to be first of all, they're back in Douglas Park for that September 21st date. As for the rest of that weekend, let the residents fall where they may on it. And for Douglas Park, sorry guys.
Indeed.
However, the Red Stars, as part of their marketing agreement, will be having a booth at Riot Fest, and they're also going to raise awareness of the organization, which will provide them a little audience in maybe in a neighborhood in a Chicago community that hasn't been there. Also, that'll be great for the league as Riot Fest draws nationally and internationally. So with their big music fest. So I think that'll be very good. Now, on Sunday, November 3rd, can you believe that far out, the Red Stars are hosting a Riot Fest night. So,
wow.
Yeah. So there's going to be merch. There's going to be special celebrations. Who knows? They might even get an artist or two. We don't know that yet.
They just might.
Yeah, so it'll be Riot Fest night, November 3rd. Bring your coats. So they turned an extraordinary negative into an extraordinary positive and a win-win for both sides. For both the Riot Fest organizers, they get a whole new audience of soccer enthusiasts, and the Red Stars get a whole bunch of teeny boppers and young adults who may not have heard of the Red Stars yet. So win-win. Such a great marketing. It was such a good marketing move. So happy to know that.
One more note before we get out of here. Becky Hammond has responded to Derek Hamby's allegations. And I'll give Allie the floor for that one, because this is going to be quite explosive.
It will. Okay. Derek Hamby used to be a member of the Las Vegas Aces. Mm-hmm. She has brought suit in court. She didn't go through the Players Association. She didn't go through any well-known form of retribution for a club that we felt wrong. Basically alleging that the Aces mistreated her because of her pregnancy and didn't follow through with certain things that she was supposed to get. Becky Hammond says that in a quarter century of participating in the WNBA and the NBA, remember that she was an assistant with the San Antonio Spurs, the first woman hired by an NBA team to do that. There's never been a complaint against her. There's never been an issue with her, and technically she still didn't have an issue. Now, according to Hammond, at the time, this was in 2023 that all this was happening, Derica was traded for strategic reasons for Candace Parker, who, as you know, vamoosed from the Chicago Sky after the championship year, essentially. And Derica Hamby was traded, as she said, they'd get 3 bodies for her 1 contract. And Candace Parker, 2 other players. However, the WNBA did suspend Becky Hammond at that time for 2 games in 2023 without pay because there were issues. Okay, now she says she also defended herself against the allegations of Derica Hamby. She said that they gave her over the top care and bullying. No, of course not. No bullying of Derica. We love Derica. We gave Derica time off when she needed it because of her pregnancy. She said that they gave her special benefits, including private school for her other kid, as well as extra time off, and also housing for her family during away games. So, this is going to be a very long and drawn out process, just as long as my explanation. But the thing is that it's also precedent setting. And it is going to become the standard for how other player pregnancies may be treated. Derica Hamby is saying that she lost prestige and brand value and things like that due to this trade, and she felt that they would that it was humiliating to her to be traded the way she was. So we're going to be watching this very carefully to see how the courts play it out. There's not yet a trial date or anything like that, but they're restricted on what they can say. But anytime there's news, I will report it, and it'll be interesting to see how things go.
It will be indeed.
Anyway, yes, but
oh boy,
there we go. Are you there?
This is gonna be. I'm here. I think that's our cue to get out of here. So let me just go ahead.
Are you okay?
Up. Yeah, I'm fine. We've been having technical difficulties for a while, and I think I'm just gonna have to take my studio apart and get everything put back together. And we're running out of time because I'm getting a signal as it is. But that's Alison Moran, one of my dearest friends, my sister in broadcasting, joining us here as she does every Tuesday to close things out. Thank you very, very much, my dear. I love you. We'll do it again next Tuesday.
Love you too. Sounds great. Have a better rest of the day.
Thank you. I swear to y'all, every time we get some big news on this show, something in the universe decides to try to bog us down.
Something screwy happens.
Something nuts always. Victor, you've hung with me for almost 20 years. How many times when we have big news, I'm not even going to explore that. Let's get on out of here. Have a great day. God bless. Remember to make your next move your best move. And always remember, if your dreams don't scare you, they're simply not big enough. Dream big, do bigger. We are, and we hope you all are too. Now let's take a deep breath, and I'll say so long, everybody, and thank you.
Take care.
I swear to fucking